The paper my mother signed is exactly where I hid it. She has no idea what she's about to lose. My hands are shaking as I pull the document from my safe deposit box, but my mind is crystal clear. I'm Charlotte, and I've spent 20 years preparing for this moment, though I desperately hoped it would never come. It started with a call from my daughter Remy this morning. Mom? Her voice cracked. Something's wrong with my account. It says zero. That can't be right, can it? I nearly dropped my coffee mug. Stay calm, sweetie. I'm heading to the bank right now. The drive to First National was a blur. Maria, our regular teller, took one look at my face and waved me straight to her window. Charlotte, I was about to call you. There's been a large withdrawal. How much? The entire account, 8732. It was processed yesterday afternoon. My stomach lurched. By who? Your mother, Eliza. She had the necessary authorization. Because I added her as an emergency contact when Remy was born, I whispered, the pieces clicking into place. Where did the money go? Maria pulled up the transfer details. It was wired to Lauren Sherman. My sister, of course. I pulled out my phone, dialing my mother first. She answered on the second ring, her voice dripping with false sweetness. Charlotte, dear, where's Remy's college fund? Now, don't get hysterical. Lauren needed it for Donovan's bail. You know he's in trouble again. That was my daughter's future. Oh, please, she scoffed. Donovan needs it more. Boys have to make their way in the world. Remy can always get married. I hung up, my hands trembling with rage. Next call, Lauren. Finally calling to congratulate me? Lauren's smug voice made me want to reach through the phone. Mom did us all a favor. Donovan was facing serious time. You stole my daughter's college fund. Borrowed, she corrected. And really, what's family for? Besides, Remy's so smart she'll get scholarships. Donovan needs this chance. He's had chances. 3 arrests in 2 years. Meanwhile, Remy worked her ass off. Oh, get over yourself. You've always been so dramatic. It's done, Charlotte. Deal with it. I ended the call and sat in my car, letting the rage wash over me. They thought they'd won. They thought I was the same pushover I'd always been, cleaning up their messes, sacrificing everything for family. My phone buzzed. A text from Remy. Mom, what's happening? Tatum's mom says she'll help with a loan. Sweet, practical Remy, always trying to fix things just like her mother used to. Used to. I drove straight to Zane's law office. He'd been my lawyer for years, ever since the incident with Lauren's first loan. He took one look at my face and cleared his schedule. They did it, I said, placing the document on his desk, just like you warned me they might. He reviewed the paper, the one my mother signed 5 years ago, thinking it was routine paperwork for Remy's account, the one that made her legally liable for any unauthorized withdrawals. Charlotte, he said slowly, this means we can take everything, the house, her savings. Good. Your family won't recover from this. I thought of Remy's face when she got her acceptance letter, of all the extra shifts I worked to build that fund, of my mother's dismissive, boys have to make their way in the world. They stopped being family the moment they stole my daughter's future. Zane nodded, reaching for his phone. I'll file the paperwork today. As I left his office, my phone buzzed again. A Facebook post from Lauren. So blessed to have family that helps in times of need. Fucks free, my boy. Family first. I smiled, thinking of the document in Zane's hands. They wanted to play games with futures? Fine. Game on. I found Remy in her room, surrounded by scholarship applications. Her eyes were red, but her hand was steady as she filled out form after form. Mom, I've been thinking, she said without looking up. Maybe I can defer for a year, work full time. No. I sat beside her on the bed. We're not letting them win. She finally met my eyes. I heard you talking to Aunt Lauren yesterday about Donovan. Your cousin made his choices. You shouldn't have to pay for them. Remember when he visited last summer? Remy's voice was quiet. He stole my laptop. Grandma said I probably just misplaced it. The memory hit me like a punch to the gut. I'd replaced that laptop without telling anyone, swallowing my anger like I always did, like I'd been doing since I was 16. Tell me about that time, Remy said, the one you never talk about, when Aunt Lauren needed your car. I closed my eyes. I was working 2 jobs saving for college, had this beat-up Honda I'd bought myself. Lauren totaled her car, drunk driving. Mom insisted I give Lauren mine because she needed it for work. I took the bus that whole semester, lost one of my jobs because I couldn't make the late shifts anymore. What happened with college? Community college, night classes, took me 6 years instead of 4. I squeezed her hand. Then I had this amazing little girl, and I swore she'd have better. My phone buzzed. A text from my coworker, Wendy. OMG, did you see Lauren's new Instagram post? I pulled it up. There was Lauren, champagne glass in hand, celebrating Donovan's release. The caption read, "Nothing a mother won't do for her son. Special thanks to my amazing mama for making this happen." Remy read it over my shoulder. They're not even trying to hide it. No, they're not. I stood up. I need to show you something. We drove to the storage unit I'd rented years ago. In the back corner, behind boxes of Remy's baby clothes, I pulled out a dusty photo album. "This is why I knew they might try something like this," I said, flipping through pages. Lauren's pattern. 3 totaled cars, 2 bailouts, 1 rehab stint. Every time Mom swooped in to help, usually with someone else's money. But why did you let Grandma have access to my account? Because she insisted it was the only way she'd contribute to it. She put in $5,000 when you were born. I added her name, then spent years documenting everything, building protection. My phone rang. It was Dad. "Charlotte, please," he began. "Your mother's beside herself." "Is she beside herself with guilt or because she got caught?" "You know how she is about Donovan. He's the only grandson. And Remy's future means nothing." Silence. That's what I thought. I hung up. Back home, I found Zane waiting in my driveway. "We need to talk," he said, holding up a thick folder. "I've been doing some digging. The money trail. It's not just about Donovan's bail." "What do you mean?" "Only 60,000 went to the courthouse. The rest—" He handed me a bank statement. "Lauren transferred it to an offshore account." My hands clenched the paper. "She's planning to run." "With Donovan, probably. The bail conditions don't include passport surrender." I thought of Lauren's champagne photo, her smug confidence. She really believed she'd won. My phone chimed with another text, from Mom this time. "Family meeting, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Be there." Remy looked at me. "Are we going?" I showed the message to Zane. He smiled grimly. "Perfect timing. The papers will be ready by noon." "Papers?" Remy asked. "Remember that document Grandma signed?" I pulled her close. "The one saying she'd be responsible if anything happened to your fund?" Remy's eyes widened. "You planned for this?" "I planned for everything." I looked at Zane. "How much can we take?" "The house, her savings, the rental properties. Given the fraud involved, we might even get criminal charges." "Good." I turned to Remy. "Tomorrow we show them exactly what happens when they bet against us." Lauren's Instagram post flashed on my phone again. Another notification. More likes, more supportive comments from clueless friends. "Enjoy it, sis. The champagne won't taste so sweet tomorrow." "Mom?" Remy's voice was still. "Make them pay." I hugged my daughter, my heart swelling with pride. She wasn't broken. She was angry. And tomorrow we'd show my family exactly what angry looks like. Mom's house looked exactly as it always had: pristine lawn, perfect shutters, and enough self-righteousness to choke an elephant. I parked behind Lauren's shiny new SUV and checked my purse. The legal papers sat ready like a loaded gun. Charlotte! Mom opened the door with her fake society smile. So glad you could be reasonable about this. I walked past her without a word. Lauren sprawled on the living room couch, scrolling through her phone. Dad hovered by the window, looking like he wanted to escape. "Where's Donovan?" I asked. Lauren waved dismissively. "Out with friends. He deserves to celebrate." "Celebrates a lot, doesn't he? 3 arrests in 2 years. "Now, Charlotte," Mom cut in, "we're here to discuss this as family." I pulled out the papers. "Yes, let's discuss. Let's start with how you emptied my daughter's college fund without permission." "I had every right," Mom began. "Actually," I slapped the document on the coffee table. "You didn't. Remember this? The agreement you signed 5 years ago?" Mom's face went pale. Lauren sat up, finally paying attention. "What agreement?" Lauren demanded. "The one making Mom legally responsible for any unauthorized withdrawals?" I smiled. "My lawyer's already filed the paperwork." "You can't be serious," Mom sputtered. "This is family." "Family," I laughed. "Was it family when you stole Remy's future for your precious grandson? When you told her she could just get married instead of going to college?" Donovan needs consequences." I turned to Lauren. "And you. Did you think I wouldn't find out about the offshore account?" Lauren's face went white. "What?" "Only 60,000 for bail. Where's the rest, Lauren? Planning a little vacation with your son?" Dad stepped forward. "What offshore account?" "Stay out of this, Chandler," Mom snapped. "No, I don't think he will." I faced my father. "Did you know about this, Dad? About any of it?" He wouldn't meet my eyes. "Your mother handles the finances." "Not anymore." I pointed to the papers. "We're taking everything: the house, the savings, the rental properties." "You ungrateful bitch." Lauren launched herself off the couch. "After everything we've done for you?" "Done for me?" I stepped closer. "Name one thing, one single time you put me first." "I gave you my old car in college." "After you took my new one, the one I bought myself." "Girls, please," Mom tried to intervene. "Charlotte, you're being ridiculous. We can work this out." "Like you worked out stealing from your granddaughter or helping Lauren hide money." "I didn't," Mom started. "Save it for court." I headed for the door. "You have 24 hours to return Remy's money, all of it, or we proceed with everything, including criminal charges." "You wouldn't dare!" Lauren hissed. "We're blood." "Blood," I turned back. "Blood wouldn't steal from an 18-year-old girl. Blood wouldn't choose one grandchild over another. Blood wouldn't—" I stopped, fighting tears. "You know what? You're right. We are blood, and that's the problem." Dad followed me to the door. "Charlotte, wait, please." "No, Dad. I'm done waiting. Done watching you stand by while they destroy everything they touch." I met his eyes. "But you don't have to. Check the offshore account records. See where your retirement fund really went." I left him standing there, face ashen. In my car, my phone exploded with notifications. Lauren was already on social media, painting herself as the victim. Mom was calling repeatedly. A new message popped up from Donovan. Gonna regret this, Aunt Charlotte." I screenshot it for Zane. More evidence. My phone rang again, Remy this time. "How did it go?" "They have 24 hours. "And if they don't pay?" "Then we take everything." "Silence then." "Good." I started the car, watching Mom's perfect house in my rearview mirror, the place I'd once called home, where I'd learned that love came with conditions and family meant sacrifice, but only for some of us. Another text from Dad. "Found the account records. We need to talk." I smiled grimly. The dominoes were falling. Lauren's latest social media post popped up. "Some people will betray their own blood for money. Karma will handle them." Oh, Lauren, if only you knew, Karma was already handling things, and she was wearing my face. The 24 hours came and went. No money appeared. Instead, I got a text from Zane. "It's done. Assets frozen. They've been served." I was at work when Mom's first hysterical call came through. "They're saying we can't access our accounts. This is ridiculous, Charlotte. I have bills to pay." Should have thought about that before stealing from Remy. We didn't steal. We borrowed, without permission for a criminal, then hid the money offshore. That's theft and fraud, Mom. "Your father can't even buy groceries." Her voice cracked. "Is that what you want?" "What I want is my daughter's college fund back, all of it." She hung up. Minutes later, Lauren called. "You psychotic bitch!" she screamed. "They're talking about criminal charges. Do you know what that could do to Donovan's case?" Funny how actions have consequences, isn't it? He's your nephew, and Remy's your niece. Didn't stop you from stealing her future. The calls kept coming. Aunts, uncles, cousins. Everyone had an opinion. Everyone thought I was being cruel, unreasonable, unfamily-like. Then Remy called. "Mom, I need you to come to the school." Her voice was shaking. I grabbed my keys. "What happened?" "Donovan and his friends? They were waiting after class." I broke every speed limit getting there. Remy sat in the principal's office holding an ice pack to her cheek. Her best friend Tatum stood guard by the door. "He didn't hit me," Remy said quickly. "Just grabbed my arm and said to tell you to back off. His friend shoved me when I tried to leave." The principal, Mrs. Torres, looked grim. "We've called the police. This is assault." "Good." I hugged Remy. "We're adding it to the charges." My phone buzzed. Dad again. "Charlotte, please. Your mother's having a breakdown. The bank called about the house." "Did you tell her to return the money?" "She says she can't. Lauren took it all." I laughed bitterly. Of course she did. "She's not answering her phone. Charlotte, I think she might have run." I forwarded the message to Zane, who replied immediately. "Already on it. Border Patrol notified. Airport alerts in place." The police arrived to take Remy's statement. Officer Martinez looked familiar. She'd handled Donovan's last arrest. "So," she said, "the cousin's escalating from theft to assault?" "Apparently." She shook her head. "We'll pick him up, add it to his growing file." Back home, Remy curled up on the couch while I made tea. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "For what?" "For causing all this drama." "You didn't cause anything." I sat beside her. "They did this, all of it." My phone chimed with a news alert. Local paper, prominent family under investigation for fraud. Mom's charity circle would love that. Tatum's mom called. "We're behind you, Charlotte. The whole PTA is talking about it. What they did, it's disgusting." Social media was exploding. Lauren's friends were jumping ship, especially after the assault. Mom's perfect reputation was crumbling. The community pillars were turning to dust. Another text from Dad. "Found more records, years of hidden accounts. She's been doing this to everyone." "How much?" I asked. "Millions. Your cousin Amy's inheritance, your Uncle Robert's business loan, all gone." I forwarded everything to Zane. "Mom?" Remy touched her bruised cheek. "What happens now?" "Now? We wait. The law moves slow, but it moves." My phone rang. Zane again. "Charlotte, we got her. Lauren tried to board a flight to Mexico. Police picked her up at the gate. Donovan was with her." "And the money?" "Most of it's still in the offshore account. We're working on recovery." I told Remy. She nodded slowly. "Good." The doorbell rang. It was Dad, looking older than I'd ever seen him. I left her, he said simply. Filed for separation this morning. Come in. He hugged Remy, gentle around her bruises. I should have done this years ago. Should have protected you both. My phone buzzed one last time. Mom, you've destroyed this family. I looked at Remy, strong despite her bruises, at Dad finally standing up, at the notifications flooding in, support, not condemnation. No, Mom, I typed back. You did that all on your own. I blocked her number and turned back to what was left of my family, the real one, the one worth keeping. The police station coffee was terrible, but I couldn't stop drinking it. Lauren sat across the interrogation room table, her designer outfit wrinkled from overnight lockup. No makeup, no swagger, just fear. Where's the rest of the money? Detective Rivera asked again. I want my lawyer, Lauren repeated. Your lawyer's dealing with the fraud charges. This is about assault. Your son attacked his cousin. I watched through the one-way glass as Lauren's face crumpled. Donovan wouldn't. We have witnesses, security footage. Rivera slid photos across the table. Want to see your son grabbing a teenage girl, threatening her? Lauren pushed the photos away. He was upset. Charlotte's trying to destroy our family. By asking for stolen money back? It wasn't stolen. It was a loan. I stepped into the room. That's not what your text messages say. Lauren's eyes narrowed. You're recording my texts? The court is. I sat down. Just like they recorded your calls about the offshore account, about running away with Donovan. I was protecting my son. From what? Consequences? Detective Rivera cleared her throat. We found something interesting in that offshore account. Transfers going back years. Care to explain? Lauren went pale. See, Rivera continued, we thought it was just about Remy's college fund, but there's more, isn't there? Money from your uncle's business, your cousin's inheritance. Mom needed it, Lauren whispered. For what? Silence. Lauren, I leaned forward. Where did all that money go? She started crying. Gambling. She has a problem, has for years. The room spun. Mom? Perfect, proper, judgmental mom, a gambler? Every time she lost big, Lauren continued, she'd find someone else's money to cover it. Said she'd pay it back. But she never did, Rivera finished. She said family helps family. By stealing from children? Lauren broke down completely. Between sobs, the whole story emerged. Years of mom's secret addiction, millions lost. Lauren helping hide the evidence, thinking she was protecting the family name. And Donovan? I asked. He found out, started blackmailing us. That's why we needed Remy's money so fast. He threatened to expose everything. My phone buzzed. A text from Dad. Found the casino receipts, decades of them. I was such a fool. Rivera laid out more photos. Your son's got quite a record. Theft, assault, now blackmail. With these new charges. Please, Lauren begged. He's my baby. Like Remy's my baby? I stood up. The difference is my daughter's innocent. I left Lauren sobbing and found Zane waiting outside. It's worse than we thought, he said. Your mother's gambling debts. She took out loans against the house, multiple mortgages. The banks are circling. What about Remy's money? We can recover most of it through asset seizure. But Lauren's right. Your mother's the real source. She used everyone like her personal ATM. My phone rang. Remy. Mom, I got a letter from Stanford. My heart stopped. And full scholarship, academic excellence. Her voice cracked. I didn't tell you I applied. Didn't want to get hopes up. I slid down the wall crying, Mom, are you okay? I'm perfect, baby. You did it. You really did it. Zane helped me up, grinning. Good news? The best. I wiped my eyes. My daughter's going to Stanford. On her own merit, he noted. No help needed from family. Detective Rivera stepped out. Charlotte, there's something else about your mother's gambling. She showed me security footage from a local casino. Mom, well disguised but recognizable, playing high stakes poker, the date stamp yesterday. She's still at it, I whispered. With what money? Zane asked. My phone buzzed again. Dad. The safe deposit box is empty. All our emergency cash, your mother's jewelry, gone. I showed Rivera the message. She nodded grimly. We'll find her. But I was already dialing Remy. Baby, pack a bag. You're staying at Tatum's tonight. Mom? Just in case. Your grandmother's desperate, and desperate people do desperate things, she finished. I'll call Tatum. I turned to Rivera. My mother's not just a gambler. She's an addict who's lost everything, and she blames me. We'll post officers at your house. Thanks. I looked at the interrogation room where Lauren still sat crying. One last question for my sister. I stepped back in. Lauren looked up, mascara streaked. The jewelry Mom took, I said. Does she have a buyer lined up? Lauren's eyes widened. How did you? Because I know Mom. Tell me. There's a pawn shop owner. He deals in cash. I texted the details to Rivera. The net was closing. But somewhere out there, my mother was making her final play, and I had a terrible feeling we hadn't seen rock bottom yet. The pawn shop owner, Mr. Garcia, recognized Mom's photo immediately. Yeah, she was here yesterday. Seemed desperate, wanted cash for these. He pulled out a tray of familiar jewelry. My grandmother's pearls, I whispered. Dad's mother's engagement ring. Detective Rivera picked up a bracelet. Did she say where she was going? Lady was pretty cagey. He hesitated. But she made a phone call outside, mentioned something about one last game and doubling it all back. My blood ran cold. The riverboat casino. Already on it, Rivera said, calling for backup. We found Mom's car in the casino parking lot. Inside, she sat at a high-stakes poker table, a mountain of chips in front of her. Her hands shook as she placed her bet. Eliza, Rivera said quietly, step away from the table. Mom's eyes were wild. One more hand. I can win it all back. Fix everything. There's nothing left to fix, I said. It's over. You, she stood up, chips scattering. You did this, my own daughter destroying her family. You destroyed us, Mom. Years of stealing, gambling, lying. I was protecting us, our status, our name. By stealing from children, from your own granddaughter? The other players backed away as security approached. Remy doesn't need college, Mom spat. She's just like you, ungrateful, disrespectful. Successful? I stepped closer. Independent, everything you never wanted us to be? She lunged for the chips, but Rivera caught her arm. Eliza Sanders, you're under arrest for fraud, theft, and you can't. I'm a pillar of the community. Not anymore, I said quietly. As they led her away, my phone rang. Dad. I heard they found her. Is it bad? She was gambling again. Lost everything she stole from the safe deposit box. He sighed heavily. The divorce papers are filed. I found more records, Charlotte. She's been doing this since before you were born. What? Your college fund. It wasn't the first time. She took Lauren's 2 years ago, then your cousin's, anyone who trusted her. The casino lights flickered overhead as reality sank in. My whole childhood watching Mom play favorites, never understanding why. She was covering her tracks, I whispered, using Lauren to help hide it. And when Lauren figured it out, she used it as leverage, became an accomplice. My phone buzzed. Remy sending a photo. She was in her Stanford sweatshirt beaming. Look what Tatum's mom got me. I showed Dad the picture. She looks just like you at that age, he said. Before your mother crushed your dreams. She didn't crush them, Dad. She just delayed them. I watched as police loaded Mom into a squad car. I went to college eventually, started my business, raised an amazing daughter. Without any help from us. Maybe that was the real blessing. Rivera approached with an evidence bag. Found these in her purse. Plane tickets to Vegas scheduled for tonight. She really thought she could gamble her way out of this. Addiction's a disease, Rivera said gently, but it's not an excuse. My phone lit up with notifications. The story had broken. Local news, social media, everyone was talking about the prominent socialite's arrest, the years of fraud, the gambling addiction. A text from Lauren. They're moving me to minimum security, cooperating with prosecutors. I'm so sorry, Charlotte. Another from Donovan. They're saying 5, 10 years. Mom says to tell you she's sorry too. I didn't respond to either. Dad touched my arm. What now? Now? I looked at the casino where Mom had made her last desperate stand. Now we rebuild, but differently this time. Without the lies, without the toxic family dynamics, without the favoritism and manipulation. I showed him Remy's photo again. We focus on the future, not the past. Rivera returned. Your mother's asking to speak with you. No. I turned away from the squad car. I've heard enough of her voice for a lifetime. Dad nodded. Me too. We walked to our cars together, leaving behind the flashing lights and curious onlookers. My phone buzzed one last time. Remy again. Is it really over? I thought about Mom in handcuffs, Lauren in prison, Donovan facing charges, about the family secrets finally exposed to sunlight, about my daughter wearing a Stanford sweatshirt and smiling without fear. Yes, baby, it's over. And for the first time since this all began, I felt not just vindicated, but free. The truth hadn't just set us free, it had given us wings. Coming to get you from Tatum's, I texted back. Let's go home. Home, where we'd build something new, something honest, something real, something worth keeping. The courthouse was packed for the sentencing. Mom sat at the defendant's table, her designer clothes replaced by a drab jumpsuit, her perfectly coiffed hair now showing gray roots. Lauren sat nearby with her own lawyer, pale and drawn from months in custody. All rise, the bailiff called. Judge Martinez looked down at her papers. Before I deliver the sentences, would any victims like to make a statement? I stood. Remy squeezed my hand before letting go. Your Honor, I began, I'm not here to talk about the money. Yes, my mother and sister stole my daughter's college fund. Yes, they tried to destroy her future, but that's not the real crime. Mom wouldn't meet my eyes. The real crime was the lifetime of manipulation, the way they pitted family members against each other, the way they taught us that love was conditional, that boys mattered more than girls, that family meant sacrificing yourself for their mistakes. Lauren started crying softly. My mother isn't just a gambling addict. She's someone who used that addiction to control and destroy everyone around her. She didn't just steal money. She stole trust, dignity, and hope. Dad, sitting in the back, nodded slowly. But here's what she didn't count on, I continued. She didn't count on my daughter being stronger than her schemes. Didn't count on me documenting everything. Didn't count on the truth finally coming out. Judge Martinez leaned forward. And what outcome do you seek today? Justice, not revenge. There's a difference. The judge turned to Mom. Mrs. Sanders, do you have anything to say? Mom stood shakily. I had a system. It would have worked. If Charlotte hadn't interfered. Still blaming others, the judge interrupted. Still no remorse. I did everything for this family. No, I said quietly. You did everything for yourself. The judge shuffled her papers. Eliza Sanders, this court sentences you to 12 years for fraud, theft, and conspiracy. Lauren Sherman, in light of your cooperation, 8 years. Mom collapsed in her chair. Lauren just nodded, accepting it. Additionally, the judge continued, full restitution to all victims is ordered. The house, properties, and all assets will be liquidated. As the bailiff led them away, Mom turned back. Charlotte, you can't let them do this. I'm your mother. No, I said. You're just someone who gave birth to me. There's a difference. Outside, reporters swarmed. Dad pushed through them to reach us. It's done, he said simply. Remy hugged him. You okay, Grandpa? Better than okay. He pulled out an envelope. This is for you. Inside was a check, a big one. Dad, what? Sold my Bowden cabin. Should cover whatever's left of your college fund, Remy, plus some. But you loved that cabin, she protested. I love you more. He straightened his shoulders. Time for me to fix some mistakes, too. My phone buzzed. Zane. Offshore account recovered. Full amount, plus interest. Another text from Detective Rivera. Found evidence of more victims, other families, going back decades. Then Lauren's lawyer. She's agreed to testify about everything, all of it. The courthouse steps were crowded with reporters, but also with others. Uncle Robert, Cousin Amy, more relatives, all victims of Mom's schemes, all here to see justice done. Mom, Remy touched my arm. Look, a woman was approaching, elderly, elegant, familiar. Grandma Rose, Mom's mother, who'd been mysteriously too sick to visit for years. I saw the news, she said quietly. Eliza, she told me you'd all abandoned me, that you never wanted to visit. She told us you didn't want to see us, I whispered. More lies. She hugged me tight, but no more secrets. Remy showed her the Stanford sweatshirt. Want to come to my graduation, great-grandma? Try and stop me. Dad cleared his throat. Rose, would you like to get coffee? Catch up on lost time? She smiled. I'd like that. As they walked away, Remy linked her arm through mine. So this is what winning feels like. This isn't winning, baby. This is justice. What's the difference? I watched Mom's prison transport pull away, thought of her sitting in a cell, no more manipulations left, no more lies to tell. Winning would mean we enjoyed their pain. Justice means we're free of it. Remy nodded. I like that better. My phone buzzed one last time. A news alert. Local family fraud case exposes decades of deception. But we weren't watching. We were walking away toward coffee with Dad and Grandma Rose, toward Stanford and future graduations, toward a life where family meant love without conditions and truth without price, toward freedom. The Stanford acceptance package arrived on the same day as Mom's first letter from prison. I let the letter sit unopened while Remy and I celebrated with Dad and Grandma Rose over dinner. Full scholarship, Remy announced, waving the paperwork, plus housing. Plus this. Dad slid an envelope across the table. Your graduation gift. Inside was a key. Remy looked confused. It's to my new apartment, he explained. Near campus. 2-bedroom. He glanced at me. Thought maybe your mom might want to use that second room sometimes. Keep an eye on you. Dad, I started. I missed too much of your college years, he said. Not missing my granddaughters. My phone buzzed. Lauren's lawyer. She's given statements about 3 more fraud victims. Sentence might be reduced. Delete. Another buzz. Donovan's probation officer. He's completed anger management, requesting contact with family. Delete. The prison letter sat in my purse, Mom's handwriting stark on the envelope. Grandma Rose noticed me looking at it. "You don't have to open it," she said gently. "Some wounds need time." "Or never," Dad added. Remy grabbed the acceptance package. "Look at these course offerings. Pre-law." "Pre-law?" I raised an eyebrow. She shrugged. "Thought I might help people, you know, families who get taken advantage of, like Zane helped us." Pride swelled in my chest, my daughter turning pain into purpose. The waitress brought dessert, celebration cake. As we dug in, my phone lit up again, a text from Detective Rivera. "Thought you should know. Your mother tried to set up a gambling ring in prison. She's being transferred to maximum security." I showed Dad. He shook his head. "Some people never change." "But we did," Remy said firmly. She was right. We'd built something new from the ashes of Mom's destruction. Dad had found his voice. Grandma Rose had found her family again. Remy had found her path, and I'd found my strength. The prison letter crinkled in my purse. With sudden clarity, I pulled it out and handed it to the waitress. "Could you throw this away for me?" "Mom?" Remy asked. "Are you sure?" "Some letters don't need to be read. Some voices don't need to be heard." Dad raised his glass. "Two new chapters." "To justice," Grandma Rose added. "To family," Remy said. "The real kind." My phone buzzed one final time. An email from the Victim Restitution Fund. "Final settlement completed. Account closed." I turned off my phone. "To freedom," I said, raising my glass. Outside, the spring air was warm with promise. Dad and Grandma Rose headed off to coffee, their new routine. Remy chatted excitedly about dorm room plans. A familiar car slowed nearby. Lauren's old friend Margaret, who'd always taken her side. She rolled down her window. "Charlotte, I've been trying to reach you. Lauren asked me to—" "Stop!" I met her eyes. "Whatever message she sent, whatever manipulation she's trying, it's done. We're done." "But she's family." "No," I took Remy's hand. "This is family." We walked away, leaving Margaret calling after us. Her voice faded like all the others. Mom's excuses, Lauren's pleas, Donovan's threats. Just echoes now, growing fainter with each step. "You know what I love most about Stanford?" Remy said suddenly. "What's that?" "It's far away from all this, but close enough for Sunday dinners with you and Grandpa and Great-Grandma Rose." I squeezed her hand. Perfect distance. At home, I found one last letter, forwarded from the courthouse. Another inmate's family seeking restitution. They'd heard about our case, wanted advice. I thought about Remy's pre-law dreams, about turning pain into purpose. "Want to help me write a response, Master?" She grinned. "Teaching others how to fight back?" "Teaching them how to break free." We sat together at the kitchen table, sharing a late-night snack, drafting a letter to strangers who needed hope. Outside, the city hummed with life. Somewhere, Mom sat in a prison cell, still plotting. Lauren served her time. Donovan faced his consequences. But here in this kitchen, with my daughter's future bright before her and our hard-won peace surrounding us, none of that mattered. We were free, and freedom, I've learned, is the sweetest revenge of all. "Ready?" Remy asked, pen poised. I smiled. "Ready." Together we began to write. "Dear friend, let us tell you how to break free."